history in Bellator as he has, you came out on top. What's next for you? He was ranked number 4, and with a new champion on board, what do you think is next for you in 2022?
Yeah, man, I think there's a lot of dust needs to be settled at the top of the division. I mean, he was ranked 4th. That hasn't put me up there. I didn't like being ranked 9th. I was a little sour taste in my mouth. I feel like finally I'll get that respect I deserve. It was a 30-27. It wasn't quite the spectacular, show I wanted. I needed to get this W. 30-27 dominated him. I wanted to go back to like I was telling you at the beginning of the week. I wanted to win every second of every round, just stubbornness, and that's what got me here. And get back to my roots. But the fight that's on my mind is Pedro Carvalho, man. That guy we've been talking back and forth, and he was just trying to big time me, and he wasn't really, he's coming off of back-to-back losses, and then he just won now, right? So it makes sense, but at the time he was just trying to, just the way he was trying to handle it was a friendly call to start it all, and then just the way he dealt with it was kind of just sour taste. I couldn't wait to get my job done just so I can that's the one I want. That Borix rematch is always there. I got caught up in the wrong game plan there, and like I said, showing you what I did there. That could have been, that just shows you the style of fight I should have been bringing to Borix. A little bit more of a balance, and that type of heavy wrestling base is what gives Borix those kind of problems too. So I think those are my 2 on the top of my head. But there's a lot of stuff that has to happen. You don't know what Pitbull's going to do. If he's rematching AJ, I'm just going to let the dust settle. I just put myself in the best possible position leading into 2022, and we'll see what happens from there.
Jimmy, congratulations.
Thank you.
One thing you said was that you were a bad stylistic matchup. I know we were talking at Media Row, and a lot of us agree with it. A lot of us thought you should have been the favorite. I looked at the betting lines. You were almost a 2-1 underdog. What are you going to say to that?
Man, at this long layoff, 7 months, I got right into sports betting, and I had a feeling I was going to be the underdog, and then when the lines came out, I almost didn't want to psych myself out. I was like, I'm not going to look at it. And then I did look, and I think it came out at on my app. I was he was a -210 favorite. I was just almost took it personally, and I was like, babe, we got to just dump the money on it. But I've never bet on myself. I'm not into that, so I was like, I don't want to be all superstitious and lay money on myself regardless. So we'll leave it alone. But yeah, when I saw the lines and him being the favorite, I just, again, goes back to me being 9th ranked and him being 4th. I was kind of just wanted some respect on my name, and I think I finally got it now.
My last question. I look back at your last fight. You got a loss to that one, but I know you want to learn from a loss. Tell us what you learned, this time off. What did you learn from that loss that made you better tonight?
Going to my roots, what got me here, and I always think of you got to strike, you got to be able to outstrike all these guys, and the striking's the difference at the highest level. But when you have a mauling, wrestling, heavy top game, like I can wrestle with anybody, but it's when I get on top of you, it's hard to get off, and anybody that trains with me will tell you that it's like, man, it's a nightmare being underneath there. So I think I just got to really inflict it on these guys, and I don't have to with Borg, going back to that when I know I just fought Sanchez, but the guys at the top of this division, I think all of them have to worry about my A game, and my coach Casey Halstead, Eric Nixick, Eddie Baracco, they all say, funnel your A game. So do what you do, but make sure make people worry about your threat and what you're best at. And I just got to really always come in shape, which I do, make weight, which I do, and just inflict my game on these guys.
Hey, congratulations on a really big win.
Thank you.
The other day you were telling me how you like to view fights as 3 5-minute fights, round per round. Just talk to me about that mindset and how you applied that tonight.
I was, again, going back to the Borix fight, the time was just elapsing, and I was having fun out there, and then the rounds were just eating up, and I'm kind of getting outpointed, and in a 10-point must system, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're barely losing these rounds. If you you lose a 30-27, it shows. A 29-28, it doesn't matter. So now I was just like, I got to get tired out there. I got to go and break it up. You know, I go out there and get exhausted. I believe in my strength and conditioning that in that 1 minute, if I'm exhausted, and I was in between the second and the third, going into the second and going into the third, I was exhausted. Walking back to my corner, you sit down, 60 seconds is all my heart needs to bring my heart rate back down, get back up on that stool, and it's a whole new fight again. And so I just need to win 3 fights a night. You know, there's 3 5s, and if I get it done early, then I'm only fighting twice, and it's easy. And, you know, I get to come home early, but that's it now. I just blitz 5 minutes straight. And that's how I train now too. You know, just hard, recover. You don't need to, you know, run a marathon. You just got to go 3 real hard blasts.
Well, you get to go home a winner for the holidays, so tell me how much sweeter the holidays are going to be now that you can go home a winner.
I think I told you guys that. I think everything's better on a win.
Everything's going to taste
Everything's
better,
on a win, you know? So, I mean, the burger I'm about to have is better. The beer I'm about to drink is better. Everything is better off of a win. And that's what I was thinking in the back. I was like, I'm not doing all this to have a loss. You know, I can't even get excited about going back to BC for Christmas or the flight home and hanging out with my wife and my dogs. I can't think about it on a loss because it's not going to be enjoyable, you know. And I just have to shout out Foodie Fit. You know, they're my sponsor. They said, you know, you win this fight, we'll give you another 3 months of food. So I'm excited to go home and indulge in all that for another month. And yeah, everything tastes better on a win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Speaking of exhausting, it seems like the most exhausting part of the fight was you trying to finish Sanchez, especially when he had his back. Now, he's only been finished once. Was there a point where you just said, you know what, this guy is just impossible to finish. I'm just going to try to coast and kind of gain points to win at some point? Or, yeah, could you just talk about that? Was that...
Yeah, so during my time off, I started doing a lot of grappling competitions, and the EBI rule set where you start on the back, and I started really working those positions. And when I got there, especially on the right side, and I got the body lock, I was like, this is it, this is my spot, I'm gonna finish him. I don't think he's ever been, well, he got the technical submission with you know, Pitbull, but he was hurt, so you know, you can't really even count that, a little bit of an asterisk on that one. But he's never been finished, and he's as tough as nails. I'm like, this is it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get the rear naked choke. But he was just fighting the hands so well, so I tried, and then eventually I had to give up on that to keep going, you know. But I was hunting for that submission. I would have loved to, you know, win the first 2 rounds dominantly and then get a 3rd round finish, but it just wasn't in the cards. You know, he's a tough, gritty veteran, and my finishes will come. It just styles make fights, man, and he's a gritty, hard guy to put away.
That's your last 1 minute. Next time.
Right on, thank you guys.
Recording stopped.